What's good, everyone? This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Please like and share this video. And everything I said on the Keys to the Game video, I told you all what ULM, which UL Monroe, was going to do. They were going to do keep away. They were going to do the time of possession. They had the running backs to do it. I said all this stuff. And I said they were going to challenge the interior D tackles for Jackson State. And they did everything I talked about, pretty much. I also mentioned General Booty, pause, that he's not going to lose them the game, that he's going to manage the game. And if you give him space to run, he will run. And he gashed them on one of those plays on those runs. But let's not be too hasty. Let's not act like the sky is falling. One thing that's good with Jackson State, they do have the talent. I repeat, Jackson State has the talent to potentially win the SWAC and potentially win the Celebration Bowl. And I say potentially. So I don't need anybody to talk about they don't have a chance. Because not too many teams in the SWAC, especially HBCUs, have D tackles that can completely shut ULM's run game. Let's be honest, family. Now, ULM is not a juggernaut FBS teams. We can get all that. But they have what? They have the depth, and they have bodies, and they have players that can just switch, and they can tire you out. That's the difference between the FCS and the FBS, and the only FCS teams that can hang like that are the ones who are stout in the trenches. When you watch North Dakota, South Dakota State, those type of teams, or Sacramento State, plenty of others, that's the difference. But JSU had their chances to win this game. Let me state what I saw both sides of the ball. Defensively, the D tackles, interior, and the linebackers, they did not tackle well. They're right there to get the running back. And it's just like pillow hugging tackle. It's like they didn't want to get dirty in this game. And you can't win like that. And I'm sure Coach TC is going to have them in a bunch of tackling circuit drills until they get that right. It's really fixable if you're always there. Now, if Jackson State had a problem in that game not getting there, it would have been a lot worse. But they were there. But those running backs were breaking their tackles. They're trucking them right in front of them. We all saw it. Those running backs at ULM are running like their life depended on. This is why it's important for this team to tackle better, because during the game, the safeties had to just creep up more to help with run support. You don't want to keep doing that, because when you play a team with a bunch of receivers and a good play action game, you're going to be prone to giving up big time plays. And it's going to cost the team. So hopefully Jackson State can sure that up. It's not like they don't have the bodies and the talent to fix it. It's just the little things. It's the fundamentals of football that you can get corrected if you just work on it. Another thing, and this is both offense and defense, penalties. What was the number that I gave on my prior video, Keys to the Game, that I said how many penalties Jackson State needed to limit? I said 5 penalties, no more than 5 penalties. They couldn't have more than 5 penalties throughout this game, and they did. And when you play FBS teams, you cannot afford to have procedure penalties, penalties that you can control. We all get it. When you play at someone's stadium, you're prone to get phantom calls and calls that don't make sense. But when it's penalties that you can control, those ones hurt the most. Because the face mask penalty, when they were backed up, and if it wasn't a face mask, it would have been a long punt, and then it would have caused momentum in the game. And you never know. Maybe Jacoby Morgan and company would score after that. You just don't know. Special teams was good field position wise, except one blunder, and you all know what it was, the block punt. The special teams are a lot better than last year. Last year, we all know it was atrocious. The fact that the field position, the punting, the kicking is light years better, that gives you all hope for those that are listening. Now, you got to reassure the punt formations, because one of the commentators mentioned that ULM was talking about a chance of blocking the punts, looking at their formations. You don't want teams to think that they could block your points punt so easily. So I'm sure Coach TC and company are going to check that out, look at film. Offense. Now, I get it. The defense gave up 30 points in this game. I understand. But if Irv Mulligan played in this game as well as J.D. Martin, this game would have been a lot closer. It would have been a win potentially, because they're tone setters, and the offense, in my opinion, would have been smoothly. People could talk about the run blocking. You've seen Irv Mulligan, whether it was good run blocking or bad run blocking, he gets the tough yards. He's tough to take down. He's like the Marshawn Lynch of the SWAC. And I bet ULM was just on the sidelines, just breathing a sigh of relief to not see Irv Mulligan. As well as J.D. Martin. J.D. Martin, he's a beast as well, because he catch out the backfield. He does all that versatility work where he's like the tricks of the trade of the running back position. Missing those two players hurt this offense. Now, I like the potential of the young players of Terrell Allen, as well as Ahmad Miller. And they held up. And they got bright futures, but it's really good to have veteran backs. Some people have told me that they're hurt. I don't really know yet, but I'm sure someone's going to confirm what's going on. But still, those two running backs were missed. Now, the receivers, they didn't get open as I thought they could in this game. I know they had that one amazing catch from Giannis Fortalin, number 16. That's a Sports Center top 10 play, by the way. In conference play, if they run more deeper routes, quote unquote, this wide receiver core could be dangerous. They were doing too many quick routes in this game to my liking, maybe because they were receiving so much pressure from the line. I get all that, but they could find a way to take some deep shots during the season. They can unlock an offensive potential that hasn't been done in a while. In conclusion, Jackson State has the talent, but they have to remain fundamentally sound through this season if they want to win it all. And the sky's not falling. You lost to an FBS team. I know it's the last place FBS team, or one of the last place, fifth to last or whatever. But there were a lot of FBS teams that were last place or top 10 worst, and no SWAC team have beaten them. So let's not act like SWAC teams are beating FBS teams, even if they're last place. A SWAC team, and correct me if I am wrong, hasn't beaten an FBS team since '85. It's been that long. And yeah, Jackson State had chances to win that game. And yeah, I would have been turning up right now if Jackson State won. But it is what it is. They got to move on. They're not deprived of talent. They just have to bring it all together. I'm excited for the future. For those who are panicking, because I went on some spaces and so many people just complaining about this and the defense, relax. Take it one game at a time. I see what Jackson State could be, but I hope people see it as well. But what helps that is if Jackson State continues to win. As long as they continue to win, all will be well. One game at a time. We'll see what happens with Jackson State. This is RawTruth Media. Share this video throughout all social media platforms. I want to hear your opinions of the game. But those were just my thoughts. Jackson State could have won this game, but it didn't go that way. This is RawTruth Media, and I'm out.